Hi, welcome back to Stencil School. I'm Mary Beth Shaw from StencilGirl Products, and today I want to show how to use stencils with alcohol ink and mineral paper. Mineral paper is just one of my favorite things. I love it. Here's what it looks like in the package. It's made by Yasutomo. It is a paper that is made from rocks. No clue how they do it. No clue whatsoever. All I know is that I like it because it's slick and you can't tear it. You have to cut it. It's very durable. It's wonderful for making books because of this quality where it doesn't tear. And it's really cool for inks and things like that. It says it's for water-based or dry media, but I typically use it with acrylic inks and alcohol inks, or I'll even use it with watercolor. I like to put a real watery layer on and then wait for it to dry. So let's turn the camera and I'll show you how we can get a few sheets started, and then I will show you a few that I made already. All right, here we are. I have these 9x12 sheets, and I have one laying out here that I want to get started with. So I use alcohol inks made by Ranger. I really like them quite a bit. I mainly like their color range, and I'm going to work in blues and greens today. I've got aqua, patina, willow, and glacier, and cloudy. I just snuck that one in. I also have some 91% isopropyl alcohol because in a spritz bottle, I just get this at like at Walgreens or something. I really like the to spray with it. I like to move it with this. This is a Tim Holtz product. It's like a little air mover thing. And you could just use a straw, blow through a straw if you don't have one of those. And I, of course, have, wrong thing. I have the alcohol blending solution, but I also have 91% alcohol. So whatever you have is what you should use. That's what I say. And you can always check in on my Amazon shop, which is linked down below in, if you hit that little drop down, there's a whole bunch of stuff linked down there. So check it out. All right, let's go ahead and spritz this first. And then I'm going to just drop some wildly drop some color on here, because I like to just kind of get it going in a, an uncontrolled fashion. For me, that's the thing I love about alcohol ink in general, is I love the fact that it's somewhat uncontrolled, I always love making art where there's a surprise involved, That is thrilling to me. And we're going to shoot this with this little 91%, shoot it around, allow the colors to mix up a little bit. Then you can see what they do. I'm going to try to put this on the side. See how they blow around when you put the air on them? Love, 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 love. I'm mainly trying to cover a background kind of quickly here with my blues and my greens. I'm going to put more down, of course, but I want to get this going quick. Alcohol ink dries pretty darn fast. You know it? I like that about it because I am notoriously impatient. People, I just get all excited, and I do like the surprise, but I like the surprise to be kind of quick. I don't know where that little red bit came from. I have no earthly idea. So, All right, so now what I'm going to do is put a stencil down on top of this. Now you notice we haven't moved it all around yet. It's not covering the page, but that's okay. I'm going to lay the stencil down on top, and it kind of like sucks down on there, which I like that, right? Because it's going to hold in place. It's not going to move. And now this is when I'm going to go back and do some more in the stencil opening parts, right? So these little diamonds and the areas around the diamonds are kind of the opening parts of this stencil, and that's where I like to add extra alcohol ink in probably more a defined way. Obviously, it's not gonna, I'm using it very wet, and so we don't know where it's gonna end up. And look at this. You can get it to just go crazy when you do that, right? Glacier. I don't think I've used this color yet. This is a darker blue. And I think it'll give us some real cool parts here. So that'll be pretty. And I love the way, look at this one down here. Oh my, that is pretty. I'm gonna have to use some more glacier over here because that is so pretty. Here's the cool thing about making these, I'm all about the parts, right? I just can't stop myself. And when I go to make my art, it really pleases me to have all my parts ready, right? So that is one of the things I do is, now here's Mojito. I think this is going to be a bright green. Let's see about that. We'll try it in a few places maybe. It is fantastic to go into, my stash and find that, oh my gosh, I've got all these fun things here that I can play with. I'm going to take this rubber spreader and move this over a little bit more so it gets down in there in the parts, the little open parts of the stencil. And I think that'll be nice to have that. I put this one down with a lot of white in the background, so that's going to be kind of cool, I think. And now there's so much laying on top of the stencil itself. I feel like I'm going to, it would be smart to get some deli paper or something to pull that off. So I'm going to do that right now here. Here's a little piece of deli paper. And let's see how this will work here. I think it might come off nicely. Yeah, it did. And in some places it held the design, and in some places it didn't. So I'm going to go down and get it again where it didn't hold the design. Now this just smeared on out, which, you know what, that's fine for me. It's still going to be pretty, and it'll still work with this. I have a fan set up behind me because it's really hot in here, and I'm going to sit this down by the fan and let it dry. And I'm going to grab another sheet, and we'll do one in another color scheme here. So let's move the deli, get all my blues and greens out of the way. And you probably already know what I'm going to do because I'm either blues or greens, or I'm like pinks and yellows and oranges. And so I think that's probably what I'll do. Let's go ahead and spritz this, get it more wet. And I'm just going to start, oop. There was a little crustiness on there. That's okay. Let's do something different this time and really spread this around. Now I've got some green on the back of this, some blue and green, and it'll be interesting to see how it blends up with this color. This is watermelon. So these are opposites on the color wheel, so we could get some neutrals out of here, which that would be okay too. All right, we've got this all covered up. And there's a little, okay, got that off of there. Now, let's try some Valencia. That's a pretty orange, or yeah, an orange color. Can't get the lid off that, so let's use this then. The alcohol or the blending solution are so great for making these little, like, I don't know what to call them. They almost look like watermarks or something. They're just so pretty, right? I love how that looks. And then when you put the alcohol back on it, look how it just goes crazy. It'll just do its own thing for sure. Here's a sunset orange. I've got some pearl colors. Let's try one of these pearls and see how this goes. Oh yeah, these are really pretty, aren't they? This one's called Smolder. Oh, look at that right there. That's the thing, once I get these alcohol inks out, I just kind of go crazy because I just love how they perform. I really do. And I'll have to say, for me, I probably love them the most on mineral paper because it's just really cool. Okay, there's that. I'm getting it really wet, aren't I? I can't help myself. Ooh, let's do some cranberry. That would be a different color on here. I guess I should put a stencil on, you think? All right. I thought this would be a fun one to use. This kind of mid-century one designed by Natalie Kalbach. It's just a really cool stencil. Now, I'm going to try to move this around while the stencil is on, which is a little bit of a different technique than I did the last time. And then I'm going to put some more color in some of the areas where there isn't a lot of color yet. All right, let's see what we can add here. Ooh, here's a bigger container of watermelon that still has a fair amount in it. I love that color of the watermelon. It's really pretty. I'm not really going for subtle, as you can see. I'm just kind of going for it because I love the intensity of these inks. They're so cool. All right, we got a lot going on here, a lot of little watermarks, and I'm going to let these dry, and then I'll be back and show you how they turn out. I'm back and I think they're done. So let's take a look. This is the blue-green one we did, and all I'm gonna do is peel it away. It's a little damp, but not too bad. Here's the stencil. Now let's say you're a person who wants to clean your stencils. Clean it with alcohol. Alcohol will take most of the staining off, and do it over top of some scrap paper because you'll get some alcohol stenciled bits over that. Now look at this one. See, I had that really light on there before I did it, and it looks really cool. I'm really happy with that. Very nice, very nice. These I envision cutting up and using in smaller parts. So, which is typically what I do with all my papers. Now this next one is a little crispy critter. Here it is. And again, I've got some whites that the stencil, the mylar of the stencil basically saves the whites for you in many respects. And that's pretty cool. So I like that. Very nice. This would be really pretty cut out. Some beautiful, I'm going to see if I can hold this up. Well, I've got it on the wrong way of the camera. Anyway, you get the point. So let's look at, here's the deli sheet. That's nice. Here are some kind of pastel ones that I cut up. I used that same diamond-shaped stencil, and I cut them into rows. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I really am happy with how these colors turned out. They're so pretty. These were the lighter colors, like, I can't think offhand, but I want to say like Lake is one that I really like. It's a real pale blue. Anyway, that turned out pretty. And then here's another one, another version of this one that I had done before. So I have two pretty colors there. So hopefully this will get you in the mood to play with alcohol ink and your stencils. I love pushing the limit like that and seeing what can come up. So have fun, and I'll see you next time. Take care.